Good evening. Thanks for tuning into the Big Ten recap show. I'm your host Shane Falco, along with my co-host Don King. We're going to recap the previous game of the week, go over the new rankings, talk about the outstanding individual performances, and the spreads for the upcoming games. So far, game of the week was second to none versus Nellis. Very highly contested affair, defensive effort as you'd expect between these two teams. Second to none came out on top 12-7, as second to none's offense made just enough plays, all thanks to Justin Mays. Team Money had a big defensive effort, even with the sun going down and the sunglasses off, with 9 sacks and 9 flag pulls and 1 sack, but it just wasn't enough offense again for Nellis as they fall. It's going to obviously shake up the rankings a little bit. What do we got for these spreads for this week's game, Don?
Week 3, Big Ten spreads. We got Lockdown versus Mad Dogs. Backdoor for Mad Dogs once again. I'm sure that they're going to be in the women's division here shortly. I got a Lockdown winning that game by 12 points, 20-8. Sorry, Mad Dogs, you guys are still my boys. Second to none versus Wolverines. That's our game of the week. It's going to be a high-scoring game, I think. I got second to none losing that game by 1 point to the Wolverines, even though that they're 2-0 and the Wolverines are 1-1. 2019. Bulldogs versus the Geek Squad. Bulldogs should run those guys over. Looking like a championship over there, Falco. Not trying to jinx you guys at all. Got them winning by 13 points, 20-7. And Nellis, I got them whooping up on the other guys, 7-0. Finally scoring a TD, and that defense should win them the game. What do you have for your Week 3 rankings there, Falco?
I think Nellis will be pretty excited to know that they're scoring their first touchdown, even though they did score it this past week. But who's counting? Well, the rankings in the Big Ten are going to be second to none at number 1. So far, they are second to none. Lockdown at number 2, best QB in the conference, putting on a display, but defensively they seem to be struggling a little bit, so we'll see how that holds up. Bulldogs at number 3. The DX curse has already been placed on the Bulldogs by Barrington A. Smith himself, so we'll see how that pans out during the rest of the season. Wolverines at number 4, obviously going to be a dangerous, high-scoring team as they click. And once they really gel and some of their players figure out the flag football aspects of the game, they're going to be very tough down the stretch. The other guys coming in number 5, they are a very young, athletic team, and I think they're actually going to upset a couple teams this season. So we'll see how that comes out during this as the season goes on. They really gave it Lockdown all they could handle. I got Nellis coming in after them. I mean, still haven't won a game, so can't put them up over anybody. But defensively, they're always going to be tough. But so far, as usual, offense has been a problem. We got the Mad Dogs there at number 6. Unable to find their first win, although a battle with the Bulldogs was evident. We'll see. I think they got a real chance to get their first win this week. Last season they really battled with Lockdown and played them real tough, so should be a good matchup. Got the Geek Squad coming in last at number 7. So far just really haven't found a groove yet. Team has been off of football for a little while, so we'll see how they play out. Standout individual performances for the week. Offensively, we're going to have co-players of the week. First off, Brad Gallup from Lockdown, top quarterback, in my opinion, in the conference. Went 7 for 16 for 185 yards, also threw 4 touchdowns. He also had 7 carries for 90 yards and a touchdown, putting up 5 total touchdowns in that game. Very high scoring output there. And Josh Williams, J-Dub from the Wolverines, 17 for 27, 290 yards and 5 touchdown passes. He also had 2 carries for 10 yards. Very high output as well, and obviously they're a very explosive offense, going to be tough to deal with. Defensively, in a losing effort against the Bulldogs, Sean Allen from the Mad Dogs single-handedly kept them in the game. He had 1 pass deflection, along with 3 INTs, and 2 he took back to the house. Very explosive defensive effort. He was limited in offense, mostly by the offensive play selection, but he did have 5 catches for 40 yards and converted 1 extra point. So a very unused weapon so far in that offense. Been struggling. What's the outlook for the upcoming game of the week there, Don?
Big Ten game of the week. We got second to none versus the Wolverines. Second to none, 2-0, undefeated. Wolverines lost that close game to the Bulldogs. Second to none, averaging 15.5 points per game. Offensively, they're giving up 8.5 points per game. Defensively, and the Wolverines are scoring 22.5 points per game on offense. They are giving up 13.5 points per game on defense, but you know what? I do have the Wolverines winning this game. I just think that they're going to be too hot for second to none. But I really got to give a testament to Justin Mays. I mean, he's playing very well out there. I didn't think that he would be able to crack that Nellis defense, and it seems that he did. What are your notes or takes on the game?
Well, obviously, anytime you have second and none, they're usually pretty tough defensively. Justin definitely has surprised at the QB spot this season. He's already matched up against two pretty good, solid defensive teams and had a pretty solid performance so far, so he's only going to get better. I think the equalizer is going to be in this one, I think against that Wolverines offense, is going to be Randall. I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on Josh, and I don't know if they're going to be able to put up the same kind of points they put up against a newer team. So we'll see how that pans out. I think it's definitely going to be a close game, and it's going to come down to the end. I actually think second and none is going to take this game. It's going to be a very close game, and it should come down to whoever has the ball last. But I think second and none is going to end up with the difference there. That's going to wrap it up for us here on the Big Ten. Tune in next week to check out the stats and recap for the games that are coming up this week. And good luck to everyone on the field.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time